Hello, I'm Dean Covey, and I'm going to show you how to get information out of I-21 using our grids and views. And I'm going to focus mainly on purchasing and cash management. So I'm going to start with the basics. So let's go into vouchers. So here we can search any of these fields. So let's say I'm interested in the payee name. So you can see anything that contains the name ABC came up. Now, every user can set these up the way they would like to have them set up. So, for example, if you want vendor number this way, transaction date, post date, if you want to move these around, each user can do that on their own. You can also hide columns that you're not using. So, for example, I'm not using bank. So I can either just hit hide columns. So you just right mouse, then click hide column, or you can click on columns and then add or subtract columns that you're not interested in. Now this screen took a bit to bring up, but we can narrow down some of the search parameters. By narrowing down the number of records we're getting, the screen will run faster. One of the things that you can do with any of our grids is export them to Excel. So let's say you have further analysis you need to do. You export it to Excel. And you can see this does a nice job in Excel. One other thing you can do with the Excel or exporting to a file piece is, let's say now that you've searched down your grid, but you're only interested in these two records. So now if you hit export, I only get the two records that I had checked on the other and the I-21. So some of the other things you can do, since we have the date range limited to any vendor that starts with the ABC, we can actually run totals on that and stay right here within I-21. So any numeric column will have totals for you. The other thing we can do is actually go ahead and group it up, much like what you can in Excel. So we can do a group by. And then we can also do a group by with total. So I'm going to group by vendor name. So now you can see we have totals for each vendor, and the totals live above the data that it represents. So we have grouping totals and we have grand totals. Now, if we like to keep this view and we don't want to have to set this up every time that we need it, what we can do is actually save it for future use. And the name can be anything that makes sense to you. And this grid lives with the user. So if another user has a grid named ABC Vouchers, this will not oversay what they have. So now your normal voucher search, you can go ahead and clear this out. And then whenever you're ready to look at your ABC Vouchers, you just click on the tab. And you can change this to whatever you need it to be. And then update the save. So there's no data after March. So now I can hit save. I'll just hit save, not save as. Save as would be if I wanted to create a new one. So if you notice here, there was a GL account. This is the AP side of things. So normally you would debit your expenses and credit your AP. This account here on this screen would represent the accounts payable account that got credited. So what we're talking about is this account here. Now let's suppose you want to search the detail line items of a voucher. So let's say you wanted to search these columns down here, and so that's done in voucher details. So I'm going to narrow down my post date, and then again I'm just using my mouse left, then just drag it. So I want to see if it's something's posted, and I want to know if it got posted. I'm just going to say after March 1st. So, and there is a GL account in here. This is the debit side. So if I wanted all miscellaneous expenses, which is, so I'm going to change this around a little bit. I'm going to say starts with. Which we probably don't have much in our demo data. So there's inventory, federal income tax. I'll just take my mouse. Here's an amount that there. I just change it to starts with. So you get the idea. So it's any account that I want to filter for. So this would be the debit side of the vouchers. Likewise, I have access to all my group by functionality. Sorting works very much like Excel, and I can save these views however I see fit. Similarly, we go into pay voucher details. So this is all the payments that's been processed for your vendors. So you can search, again, I can just take that field, drag it up, or if I know approximately what I want, I can go ahead and drag that up. Then I can get a little more elaborate and date. Likewise, I can do the group by, sort. I got vendor name. If a check is cleared, and if you're using the bank rec module and you're keeping it up to date, you can see here whether or not the check has been cleared or not. Again, you can see all the fields that are available to you. Users can add or subtract as they see fit. So you can search for vendor name, your check date range, and then let's say if you want to know if they're cleared or not cleared, or if you just wanted a list of checks that wasn't cleared. Again, you have the ability to save, create tabs for your own future use, and you have the ability to export them to Excel. On that note, with payments, we also have in cash management is a bank register. So here you would pick your account, and you would and I just switched over to the keyboard. Let's go with today. So you can see this is my check register. I have payee information, opening, closing balance, deposits. So this is more information than the pay voucher detail is only related to vendor activity. This is total activity related to the check register. And again, this can be exported to Excel, sorted, grouped, however you see fit. Most people sort it this way. Once they have their date filters, if you sort it this way, this would give you the newer items. One other note back on purchasing, you can sort and filter for vendors too. And this screen just works very much like the others. You have your vendor ID, your vendor name, your full address, and like anything else, you can sort and filter on any of these fields that you want. Likewise, you can do a group by with or without totals. Totals probably won't mean much here, but and then of course you can export to Excel, text, PDF, CSV, if you need to do further analysis outside of I-21. So in a nutshell, this is how you can leverage the grids to retrieve a lot of your data back out of I-21.